Where exactly do the Texans find themselves when it comes to the AFC elites, or really the entire AFC? It's never too early for some power rankings. Here come the official Cody Stoots YouTube channel, AFC Power Rankings. Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans, let's talk some AFC, and let's talk some power rankings as the Texans look to find themselves amongst the elites of the AFC, and they might already be there in this power ranking. 1 through 16, the teams in the AFC. And my goodness, if Tank Dell is as healthy as he looked over the weekend, then the Texans are going to be really high and stay really high in the power rankings. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out this video right over here. The Saturday Rundown is going to have you covered on some of the things you might have missed over the course of the weekend or the week when it comes to the Houston Texans, including Tank Dell and Dylan Horton's health, Steven Nelson's Twitter, or should I say Instagram fingers, and so much more. You don't want to miss it. Check out the Saturday Rundown. Check out these power rankings. Look at me getting fancy with the color coding. Here's something big for me on power rankings. How talented are you? How likely is it that you're going to improve that talent that you have? So that's a coaching thing. How good's your quarterback situation? How good can your quarterback situation get if you've changed quarterbacks, you have a new quarterback, or you have some interesting options? All those things go into it. We're not going to go in order. We're just going to kind of slam them in here throughout the course of this thing. Let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the reigning, defending, undisputed champions. I know Rashee Rice has got a speeding problem, but the Chiefs were able to keep Chris Jones this offseason, and they were able to add a little bit of talent over there at wide receiver in case Rashee Rice can't go early on. So the Chiefs stick at the top. The Baltimore Ravens are going to check in right behind them as number 2 in the AFC. I know Baltimore lost a lot, but they've still got the reigning, defending, undisputed MVP of the league, and Lamar Jackson. I really like Lamar's game and what he can bring to the table. They could get a little bit healthier on offense, and that would be intriguing for them. They did lose a couple of defensive pieces, but it seems like Baltimore always has an ability to figure out some things defensively. Let's go to the bottom here. Let's find out who the bottom feeders are, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the Denver Broncos down there in the bottom spot. I just don't believe in the Broncos. I don't believe in Sean Payton. They had to jettison a bunch of talent. I don't like their quarterback situation with Bo Nix. It's a rough situation for Denver. It's a cool franchise, but they're in a really crappy spot right now. So I'm checking in with the Broncos at 16. Haven't got close to putting the Texans anywhere just yet. Speaking of crappy quarterback situations, man, it's only slightly better than the Broncos situation. The Raiders, they've got Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and yeah, that's it. They're checking in there at 14. So, Cody, who's going between them? Well, new coach that I don't know anything about in Gerard Mayo, new quarterback in Drake May. If they don't play Drake May right away, they're playing Jacoby Brissett. So, the Patriots, not very good. They're checking in down here. We're going to have our first AFC South team pop in here. That's the Titans. Don't know a ton about what their coach is going to bring to the table. Former offensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals, but he didn't call the plays there. Now, that's not the death knell. Bobby Slowick didn't call plays before he ended up in Houston, and he looked pretty good with C.J. Stroud and company. The Titans, though, don't have C.J. Stroud and company. They got a pretty decent wide receiving core, but it's still nothing to write home about. I'm checking the Titans in there at 13. Right above the Tennessee Titans, I'm going to put the Browns. And you're thinking to yourself, Cody, they made the playoffs last year. Yeah, but now Deshaun Watson's their quarterback. I don't know what to make of Deshaun Watson. He's clearly their guy. Joe Flacco's not coming to save them. That's a great defense. And Kevin Stefanski's a really, really good coach. I just believe in a lot of these coaches and situations more than what the Browns have. And with the Bengals being healthy, maybe the Steelers having some more consistency at the quarterback spot, they could find themselves in a rough spot, those Brownies. And they got to contend with the Ravens as well. Speaking of the Steelers, I'm going to drop them right above the Browns. Now, I don't love the Steelers quarterback situation with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and having to move on from Kenny Pickett, but I like it better than Deshaun Watson starting for me. Again, I don't know what Watson is. I don't know what he's going to be. And so it's really hard for me to predict where the Browns are. The Steelers have a pretty good defense. I like some of the offensive pieces that they have. I'm dropping them there. The Chargers are going to drop in at 10. Now, they've had to jettison some talent, okay? They had to get rid of their stud wide receiver Keenan Allen, Mike Williams as well. They added Ladd McConkey in the draft, one of my favorite prospects in this draft, and they still got Herbert. They've got much better coaching, though. And Harbaugh, when he got to San Francisco, they were good right away. I don't know if the Chargers are going to be good right away, but they're not going to be real bad right away. That's my faith in Jimmy Harbaugh and what he can bring to the table. Now, where are the Texans going to find themselves? They're going to find themselves ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's for sure. I'm checking him at 9 at the Jaguars. I really like Doug Peterson. I feel like he's a really good coach. I just don't love the potential of Trevor Lawrence. He has not taken it to that next level like I feel like he is possible or potentially could go to, or like a lot of people expected him to get to. So he hadn't gone to that next level. So I'm checking in there. Their wide receiver situation's not good. The defense should be pretty good. Trevon Walker kind of came on there at the end. He's still a massive disappointment and not Aiden O'Connell, but he's a decent player. They kept Josh Allen, paid him $1 gazillion. They should get some improvement from the guys that they do have. I'm going to drop the Jets in right here above the Jaguars. The Jets, to me, are a team that's full of unknowns. Are they going to have an offensive line that's good enough to protect Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be healthy? I'd lean towards he's going to be healthy and they'll figure it out enough on offense that they can make some things happen. They were a pretty competitive team last year with really, 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 really bad quarterback play. So I'm checking the Jets in there at number 8. Right above the Jets, I'm going to take the Bills. They've got a really, really good quarterback. Okay, Josh Allen. They just don't have much juice around him. I like Ray Davis, the rookie running back that they got, but putting a lot on Ray Davis's shoulders and Keon Coleman's shoulders, 2 of your rookies, when you let some guys like Stephon Diggs go, when you let your center go, your starting safeties go, it felt like key player after key player left the Buffalo Bills this year in this offseason, but I still like Josh Allen. Sean McDermott's still got a little something to him, but he's not near where these other guys are. I'm going to drop the Colts in right above the Bills. Now, Anthony Richardson, I don't believe in Anthony Richardson. I also don't believe he can stay healthy. But here's what I do know. I am skeptical, but I also understand that I could be wrong about Anthony Richardson. I love his coach. I feel like Shane Steichen is one of the best coaches in all of the National Football League. He did a lot with a little last year with the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to get Michael Pittman back because they brought him back, re-signed him. Adonai Mitchell was one of their big-time draft picks. They got one of the best defensive players in the draft in Latu from UCLA. They were banged up to high heaven on the offensive line last year, so they are going to be better on the offensive line this year, which maybe means Anthony Richardson can stay healthy, and maybe he is going to pay off to that high draft pick that they spent on him. I just like their coaching staff and their defense overall more than what the Buffalo Bills bring to the table. 3 teams left, 3 spots left on the power rankings. I think you can guess where the Texans are going to go. I'm dropping the Miami Dolphins here at 5. I love their coach and Mike McDaniel, really forward-thinking offensive mind, but they had to get rid of a bunch of really good players this offseason. Xavier Howard, a couple of players on defense left in free agency. They lost a couple of players on offense. I mean, Odell Beckham, sure, he's more washed than your favorite sweatshirt. But if Tyreek Hill is healthy all year long, if Jalen Waddle's healthier than he was last year, that's still the most dangerous 1-2 around, it feels like, in the National Football League. Tua can still get them the ball. They got to protect Tua a little bit more, and they got to get guys healthy on defense. It feels like everybody who's a key player on their defense has been hurt. So the Dolphins check in at number 5. The Cincinnati Bengals are not going to be the team that I place at 3. They're going to be the team that I place at number 4. I'd be crazy to stick the Houston Texans behind the Cincinnati Bengals when we don't know exactly what Joe Burrow is coming off of injury. They've got guy after guy after guy upset and unhappy with the situation that they're in. Their offensive line situation is still a shaky offensive line situation. Their stud running back is now Zach Moss. Yeah, I'm not putting the Bengals much higher. In fact, I probably have them too high, but I'm betting on Joe Burrow bouncing back from the injury, and he's a great equalizer because he's better than Tua. He's better than Anthony Richardson. He's as good or better on any given day than Josh Allen, and he's better than everybody else here on this list. So if Burrow bounces back, and I'm not one to sit here and tell you I know a lot about the intricacies of the wrist and how you use it and how you do this and that with the football, don't clip that and turn that into something that's not supposed to be. But if Burrow bounces back, they're still going to be a really good football team with a really high floor. And that drops the Houston Texans in at number 3. Now, the Texans are not far off from the top of the AFC when it comes to last year. I mean, they were one of the last AFC teams left standing last year, and they put on a pretty darn good show in the first half of that game against the Baltimore Ravens. So, they were very close to being one of the final AFC teams left standing, and they've improved this year. Their overall talent at defensive end is better. Their overall talent at linebacker is better. Their overall talent at safety is better. Their overall talent at running back, their overall talent at wide receiver, better. The offensive line should stay healthy when they bounce back from all the injuries last year. It's pretty easy to see how the Houston Texans slot in at 3 and stay at 3 for a good portion of the year. They'll play the Dolphins, the Colts, the Bills, the Jets, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Patriots. They'll play a lot of these AFC teams, and then you got the Chiefs and the Ravens late in the season. I mean, you want to be the number 1 of the power rankings. They trip up. You keep taking care of your business. Boom, you're 1 or 2 in the AFC. And look, the power rankings, they don't matter that much. Okay, that's just kind of a gauge as to where they are, helps you kind of set expectations, helps you kind of figure out how tough maybe some of the schedule is when you're thinking this team's power ranked here, this team's power ranked here. Like, it kind of just kind of sets the tone for you. But the expectations, be the 3rd best team in the AFC, I mean, that might be a disappointment for most Texans fans or even the Texans themselves. If you were the 3rd best team in the AFC, that means you were the best performer in the divisional round that lost. Okay, to be the 2nd best team in the AFC when it's all said and done, that means you made the AFC Championship and you lost. Okay, I feel like that's definitely where the Texans want to be and need to be and should be when this is all said and done. So that's the power rankings for now. That's just the AFC. We'll jam the NFC in there at some point and figure out where the Texans rank amongst all of the National Football League. But as it stands right now, they should be and absolutely could be one of the elites in the AFC, and that's where the expectations should be for this Texans team. What say you? How off are my power rankings from your power rankings? Let me know in the comment section. Down below on your way down to the description, throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be on the lookout this week for OTA coverage and conversations. The Texans will get OTAs underway this week. We'll be there live to cover them and talk about it here on the YouTube channel, so don't miss out on any of that. You won't miss out on it if you subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell. Turn on the notifications so that you know you're not going to miss anything. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.